on the bottom line.
Hey now, here we go. Friday, August 12th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Happy anniversary to you, my friend.
Happy anniversary,
We made
buddy.
it a full year.
Happy anniversary to you, Maz. Happy anniversary to you, Ryan. Happy anniversary to my man, Flannel Sam.
I think your mic is on.
Flannel Sam, Fletch, Alex. Mara was a part of this. Art at one point was a part of this. Fish was a part of this. Thank you to everybody at Woodward Sports that helped us become us and the bottom line, and we're only just beginning.
Look at that. 1 year in the books, Tom Mazawey.
I love it, man. That was a quick year. And this has been a phenomenally quick week.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how quick this week has gone?
So before we get into all the loves, because I was in rant mode. Like I got to hurry.
Oh, yeah.
I was in
Get
rant mode.
the
Like
rant.
I got in love mode because it is, and it's a beautiful thing. Like it's a beautiful thing to see a year in anything in life. Whether it's a year of school, whether it's a year of marriage, a year of a relationship, whether it's a year of free of something. Like it's amazing to see a year. But let me get on my rant real quick. Dear golf courses of America, and this could be I'm the America, but I'm just focusing on America because this is the great country which I live in. Stop pairing strangers together. I went to the golf course today to golf with my beautiful mother, my wonderful stepfather, and we went out there in the threesome, not in that right, and we go out there to golf and have a good time and right before work. And they partnered me with this individual. Now, Ralph was a sweetheart. Ralph was 75 years of age. I'm excited that he's lived to be at this age. Ralph is a decent golfer, but
Poor Ralph.
so old and so slow. Like I didn't ask to golf with Ralph, and he's an amazing guy. He was very nice. He was a beautiful man. But then I saw other people that felt the same thing. There was a twosome in front of me that was golfing with another twosome that they didn't know. And there was another situation. There was a guy and his wife, and they were my age, and there was two older guys that they weren't keeping the same pace. I get it. You want to squeeze individuals in there so that you can get all the money for the golf course, that you can tie people up, you can make all the money on the round, and then you can get foursomes out and get it. I understand it. I understand the way golf works. I get it. But stop pairing people up with strangers.
Why do they do that?
Because they maximize the money. You maximize the money because if I can squeeze three and I can add Ralph to that round, now I got a whole group together. Now I got another situation where I can make another foursome. It's all about the money. I get it. I understand it. But stop doing it because sometimes people aren't nice. Because I've played with people that they've partnered me up with, and you're like, this guy's he's a douchebag. Or this group, they're not nice people. Don't do that. There should be some type of question like, hey, do you mind if we partner you up? Or it should be, if there's a threesome already in place, you shouldn't be allowed to add one to a threesome. A twosome, I somewhat get. One person, I definitely get. But a threesome, leave the threesome alone. I'm done ranting. I had a good time with mom and dad.
I don't hate what you're saying because I have been the guy before that has had to include somebody into the foursome.
Yeah.
And, at that point, you're just better off begging somebody to go with you. Say, I'll buy I'll pay for you to come sit in the cart with me for the next 4 to 6 hours.
Or you're better off lying.
And you're done.
Because you don't want people to turn into liars. Because this could easily be the case, Maz. Hey, you know what? Farmington Hills, is that Ryan talking? Or is it I'm talking? I got lost for a second. Hey, Farmington Hills. Hey, I got 4.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What time? Yeah, we'll want to tee up around 9:15 a.m. so I can make work. Okay, cool. We'll have you down. Edwards for 9:15 Friday morning. Done. We got you. Then you show up and you say, hey, look, one of the people canceled. My apologies. Because by then they've already booked 3 behind you with an addition 1 or a 2 and a 2. So I don't want to be a liar, but I also don't want to golf for Ralph, who when I was on hole 4, Ralph was finishing
Ralph.
2. No, Ralph was a good guy, but
Fine.
Screw his attitude.
Just another reason why golf's not for me.
You know what, Maz? I get you. Today made me get why you got to really love golf to deal with what I dealt with today. But outside of that, woosah, we are celebrating 1 year anniversary. I'm done ranting.
It's a damn shame what they do to you out there on the golf course.
How
It
you like
just
this,
is.
how you like this new mic?
You tell me. How do you like it? You're the one holding it.
I'm trying it out. Stick just put it on.
It's a damn shame what they did to Flip.
What do they call these things again?
Windscreens?
Yeah, mic windscreen instead of my mic flag. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Maybe we should get the Lions blue, baby, because we got some Lions football tonight. Game night. Are you kidding me? We're going to see those guys for the first time in live action in 2022. Pretty exciting, though, isn't it, Bray?
It is exciting. It's exciting because of everything involved. It's exciting because of how they finished the season. It's exciting because of the draft. It's exciting because of Senior Bowl, and we've been talking about the Lions all off season. It's exciting because of Hard Knocks. We now see kind of the behind-the-scenes look at what they could be this year, not to mention all the excitement around the city of the team this year, the physicality, and the way in which they're playing so far. So you get a chance to finally see they put the cleats to the rubber, man. It's going to be exciting.
I got 2 words for you as we start the show, and I could say Dave Birkett, but Dave Birkett's going to join us in a couple of minutes. We'll talk some Lions football. But the 2 words I want to share with everybody right now, Maz, you'll appreciate this, Malik Willis. And I know it's just a preseason game. Listen, it's a preseason game, and I'm not going to go nuts. 6 of 11. 170 yards passing, not the greatest night through the air.
Good throw, though.
Pretty indecisive, and I think Mike Vrabel called him out for that. He had a really good run for a touchdown near the goal line. You just see flashes, okay? And you can yell at me all you want for the number 2 thing. I will accept that, okay? I will accept the criticism. You can do the clown emoji for the number 2. But you cannot convince me that wouldn't have been a really good pick in the 3rd round. I am going to compare Malik Willis's career to the safety from Illinois, whose name escapes me. Yes, Curtis, thank you.
How about our 2nd round pick?
Well, I'm just saying. Pascal, I'm not going to close the book on Pascal yet just because he's injured in his first training camp. But I will compare Malik Willis's career not to Aiden Hutchinson's at 2, but to Joseph's in the 3rd round.
So what I would say is this. I watched the game last night. Shout out to my boy Jimmy. Y'all guys know Jimmy Ryan. Jimmy's an amazing guy. He and I watched the games together a little bit yesterday before I went home and passed out as I do in my old man self. I saw the plays, and I knew as soon as I saw the plays that I was going to come to work today, or I was going to look online and see everybody going crazy about Malik Willis. This is what I have to say about that. Ryan, he looked good last night.
Yep.
But, one, it's preseason.
Yep.
I've seen a ton of individuals look good in preseason throughout the time that I've played, throughout the time that I've watched. I've seen a lot of individuals look good. With that being said, what I did notice is his footwork still needs a ton of work. His footwork was not there. It was the same things that professional scouts saw, talking about could he be a 1st round, 2nd round pick. His footwork's not there, okay? His athleticism, we already knew that. We knew he was going to be an athlete. We knew he was going to make plays like that. Now, the one throw that he did make on the sideline, I think it was about a 38-yard throw, 41 yards. That's what you call a nice NFL throw. Because what he did was kept him away from the safety over top. He kept him away from the DB underneath, threw a nice little ball in the window on the sideline. That's a good NFL throw. That was a good throw. Now,
before you go, can I just get my logistics straight before people kill me for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kirby Joseph was taken after Malik Willis.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's a deal to be made in that 3rd round, perhaps, to get up to go get Malik Willis. So before I hear all Kirby Joseph was taken after Malik Willis, just save it.
Pump your brakes.
Thank you.
So now what I will say this is, so I've said that. Like, hey, it was a good game, but it's nothing special in terms of a preseason game. But however, where I will agree with my buddy Ryan Ermanni over there is, that wouldn't have been a bad pick over Pascal. That wouldn't have been a bad pick over Pascal to have somebody like that on your roster. Somebody in the 2nd round that you choose in Malik Willis that can learn the game in year 1. Malik Willis isn't coming in and taking Jared Goff's spot. We understand what Jared Goff is doing. We understand the faith that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have placed in him. But Malik Willis, a player like that, wouldn't be bad to have him in a developmental role because that's all you're going to get out of Pascal anyway. So I definitely agree with you that could have been a good 2nd round pick. Don't go crazy over last night, but also if you're the Detroit Lions, should we have maybe pulled that trigger in the 2nd round? Something you can ask yourself.
Yeah, you should have, okay? No question about it. Good call. But if you look last night while he was playing, and again, I've seen so many games, guys. I'm not judging a kid on preseason. It's his first time playing in the NFL, okay? But he is going to be a special player. I don't care what you guys think or what you guys looked at last night. I don't care. The Lions should have taken a flyer on him in the second round, or like Ryan said, moved up in the third round to get the kid. You look last night while he was playing, Micah Parsons puts out a tweet, this kid is special. Dan Orlovsky puts out the faces with the hearts on it, 3 or 4 of those in a row. It's just not us. It's guys that know the game, okay?
What are you saying, we don't know the game?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying professionals.
Just playing with you.
Professionals.
Right.
Analysts. And Dan Orlovsky. Oh, Dan Orlovsky was a crappy quarterback. He's a great analyst, and he knows how to quarterback. The kid made the NFL. This kid will be good, and I guarantee you he will take Ryan Tannehill's spot before you know it.
And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel like I have never wanted to be in this job. Just peel back the onion for you. I don't really care if I'm ever right. I just want to be kind of entertaining. I'll just tell you that. I've never wanted to be more right about a player than I want to be right about Malik Willis. I feel like I need to be right about Malik Willis.
Me too.
So, know that moving forward. And I believe everything I say. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm trying to do it in an entertaining way. Otherwise, nobody gives a rat's you-know-what about it.
Yeah, and the word you're looking for is a rat's ass. But the thing about Malik Willis is you have every right to feel that way. Like, because you fell in love with a couple things. You fell in love with the person that he was.
Yep.
You fell in love with his humility.
Yep.
You fell in love with his smile and his authenticity. Yep. He was genuine. You fell in love with his playmaking ability. And you fell in love with his ability to get better. He's still raw. He has the potential to get better and be one of these young studs. He may not come out the gate like Russell Wilson, but in 3 years, he could be where Russell was in 3 years. So you have every right to want this guy to succeed for all of those factors.
Absolutely. But we'll leave it there. We'll get into some Lions talk. Dave Birkett is going to join us, Lions beat writer for the Detroit Free Press, breaking down the Lions game tonight. How long will we see the starters? And how's camp going? What do you think of camp so far?
And Hard Knock. Did Dave get on Hard Knocks? I didn't see him. Maybe a little.
I don't know.
We'll see what he can do next week.
I don't remember seeing Dave.
We'll see what he can do next week.
We will see Dave on HBO, I'm sure, sooner rather than later. We'll do it next, but first a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey, Chili Peppers Tanning, 27 locations, 2 right here on Woodward, and plenty more on the way. And if you join the Pepper Club, you're in luck, because not only will you get the cleanest salons in the D, you get to meet the Peppers girls, and they will beat all competitors by $5 or more on unlimited tanning. The best deals, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. It's ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Ciabatta's, summer salads, and
Ciabatta's
hand dip shakes, all at Big Boy. That's right. Try the Chicken Club, the Chicken Cordon Bleu, or the Sunrise Ham and Cheddar, all on a delicious grilled ciabatta bread. If you want to keep it light, how about the salads? The Michigan apple, the chicken Caesar, or the Greek salad. But save room for those hand-dipped shakes. How about a little cookies and cream or strawberry shake? That's right. You heard it here first. Summers just got better at Big Boy.
You know, one of the things that sucks about this job, by the way, is you can't just have a conversation. Like a reasonable conversation.
Somebody went after you already?
No, I'm just...
They all call us out.
I'm just not sure anybody in the chat is being reasonable right now.
They're not.
As it relates to...
I mean...
They call us clowns. That's okay.
And I heard Adam in the morning calling you
out.
Yeah, and it's, you know, whether it's moving the goalposts or, oh my God, these guys are putting them in the Hall of Fame after one preseason game. It's not at all what we said.
So they didn't listen to anything I said?
You got one good comment in there.
But I legitimately said, this is a preseason game. I've seen tons of individuals have good preseason games. I said, in all fairness, his athleticism is something that we knew was going to be there. He's going to do that in the preseason. Right. I said he made one good NFL throw. I said it wasn't great, but it was really good. That's what I said. Why don't people listen? People, you know what? You said this 3 weeks ago. People listen to, they hear what they want to hear.
Jimmy Valou loves us, though.
Yo, good. I love Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy, we love you.
So there's an exercise out there, and it's going around the internet. It's, and I forget what the 2 words are, but it was, if you think word A, you will hear word A. The next time around, if you think word B, you will think word B when you hear it. It is one of the most remarkable things. I tried to send it to you that one time.
It was
send it to the group.
No, I saw it.
I still don't make sense to me, honestly.
It is. You will basically the word that you hear.
So Malik.
If you think Malik, you will hear Malik. If you think planet, you will hear planet. It's one of the most incredible exercises you could ever do. And I feel so many times that the listeners or the watchers, viewers, whatever the hell you say on YouTube, are like that. I did not put Malik Willis in the Hall of Fame. What I said moving forward was, I am going to compare his career with that of Kirby Joseph's, who has taken 11 players behind him. But I feel like if the Lions wanted Malik Willis, they would have jumped up and made a trade to get Willis in the 3rd round. I think he's going to be a pretty darn good quarterback.
We wanted a quarterback. That's it. Plain and simple. The quarterback class wasn't as good as past quarterback classes, and it's not as good as the one next year.
And yes,
but let's see if the kid plays good and makes the team and makes the Titans better than they are. That's all.
But here's the thing, man. It's like, to the people in the chat, and first of all, we appreciate everybody's opinion, whether you disagree with us or whether you agree. Well, even the a-holes, we appreciate you too because you're listening. But what we said was, let me ask you a question. Where the hell is Josh Pascal? Pascal. Where's Pascal at? We don't know where Pascal is.
He's got a hernia.
We don't know what's going on with Pascal.
A hernia.
A hernia.
Okay.
But it took us forever to get that information. But when we drafted Pascal, was everybody excited for that pick? Did people jump up and down and say, "Oh yeah, the guy out of Kentucky"? Thank you, I appreciate that right there. That was your reaction. So if we could sit up here and say, well, you know what? If you would have got a guy like Malik Willis, who we can figure this out, well, that's the same thing we're gonna do for a guy like Josh Pascal. The only thing is, Malik Willis actually plays a position that we actually really need.
I promise you this. This is a fact, guys and girls. If we had Malik Willis on our team, 2nd, 3rd round, whatever, you would be so super excited after last night's game. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody will be talking about Jamal Williams for Hard Knocks. Everybody will be talking about Malik Willis.
Fact.
Well, let's talk about who will dress up for the Lions game tonight at Ford Field against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's bring in Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer for the Detroit Free Press, on Twitter at Dave Birkett. Spend a buck. Subscribe to the Free Press. Dave, thanks for the time, my friend. I know you're busy today. Thank you.
I will not be dressing up for the Lions game tonight. So preseason, I'm in preseason mode all the way. No shorts, but I'm not wearing my Sunday's finest.
There you go. What's the plan for the starters tonight, Dave? Is Dan Campbell giving any indication for that?
Yeah, he said they're going to play about a quarter, and this is probably all you're going to see them this preseason, I would guess. I mean, that's what he did last year. Jared Goff played 2 series the entire first quarter, then didn't play in week 2 or 3. And I think the fact that they have joint practices next week against the Indianapolis Colts makes it unlikely that the key starters will play at least. You'll see Aiden Hutchinson, you'll see some of the young guys, I think, throughout the preseason. But, for Jared Goff, maybe DeAndre Swift, a couple of those linemen, you're not going to see them much after tonight.
It just kind of makes me think of the Aaron Rodgers comment earlier this week saying, you know what, I'm not suiting up for 4 plays. He's like, I just, if you want me to play, I'll play a quarter or a half. Do you get a sense that Dan Campbell really wants these guys to compete and go hard tonight?
Oh, I think without a doubt. I mean, people saw us and have heard him talk, this preseason. I mean, that's part of why he's had so much live tackling in practice. That's part of why, training camp has been so physical, is that, he thinks you need to, sort of put you put the armor on for the season right now, during training camp and during the preseason. And so I think from that standpoint, it's important for some of those guys to get on the field, and also for the offense and defense. I mean, they tweak both schemes. They have a new offensive coordinator, so there are some new things that they need to work out.
Talking to Detroit Free Press Lions beat writer Dave Birkett, a friend of mine. I always love the Vantage Points, but I just appreciate having him on the show. I was listening to your voice on the way in, but what I'm saying, I won't say you're cheating on us over here. Hey, Dave, check this out. We keep getting Dan Campbell's point of view. We keep getting what he wants to see out of this 2022 Detroit Lions, out of this team after training camp in 2 weeks, getting into their first game. What does Dave Birkett want to see out of the Detroit Lions in tonight's game against the Falcons?
Yeah, first, I'm a free agent, so whoever pays the bill.
Amen.
Hey,
amen, brother.
About, Dave.
That's right,
it's
Dave.
Nothing like the truth.
Tell him.
That's right. Number 2, look, I mean, I think tonight specifically, because the starters aren't going to be playing much more this preseason, I'll be interested to watch Jared Goff. I'll be interested to see how that new offense looks and his connection with DJ Chark. But I think that the guys keeping the most eye on are Aiden Hutchinson, first-round pick. We want to see what he does against a new offense. He's played really well so far this training camp, and this will sort of be everyone's introduction to him as a pro. And then, Jeff Okudah. I mean, the guy hasn't played in 11 months, and wherever he's at in his rehab now, he is going to be, a key player in the secondary this year. I think the back 7 for the Lions that's the biggest weakness. That's the biggest question mark I have heading into the season. And so you don't need Jeff Okudah to look like the guy he was at Ohio State right now, but you need to see some signs that, he's on his way to being back from that Achilles and can be a serviceable cornerback, because whether it's week 1 or week 10, they're going to need him on the field at some point this fall.
Hey, Dave, it's Maz. Thanks for coming on again. I hear that play date in the background. Love that sound. Love that sound, man. Reminds me of the old days. Hey, I wanted to ask you about Dan Campbell coming out this week and talking about the depth chart and saying the only guy that really has a spot with the number 1 team is Jared Goff. He did talk about, someone asked him about how many quarterbacks are you going to keep on this team. I think the way it sounds like he's keeping even Blau or Boyle. What's your take on that?
Maz, I'm with you there. I put the headphones in to try to mute some of that noise, but they're off.
No, sounds great.
I think frankly, they kept 3 last year, and they did it in part because no one else warranted having that 53rd spot, and so I think as you look at the Lions roster now, they are deeper. There are more guys that can be contributors for them on special teams or in some sort of, more minor role. There are probably some young guys that they want to hold on to that they don't want to risk putting on waivers. And so, I think it probably makes sense to just keep 2. I mean, I don't know that there's going to be a big rush to go out and sign whichever backup quarterback the Lions don't keep. Right. I don't know that the decision has been firmly made, but you can just as easily slide one of those guys on the practice squad, I think, and be okay with your quarterback situation and get more out of one of those roster spots by keeping the special teams ace.
So far during the couple of weeks you've been there, who has the lead?
Man, that's a tough question because and Braylon can speak to this, right? When a quarterback is playing with the second team offense and that offensive line versus the third team offensive line, like it's just, whoever is with the second team offense looks better because it's surrounded by better players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's tough, for us to tell, and I think a lot of that comes down to just some of the real, mechanical things that maybe we don't realize, getting in the huddle and making the right read and things that you don't have the benefit of without film. I think Boyle, maybe gets a bad rap from some people. He's got a very strong arm. I think he can do some things, but Blau also, he seems like Dan Campbell's kind of guy, when Dan talks about grittiness and a guy who just finds a way to get it done. So it's a very close battle. They've been alternating work with the second team every day. So I think that's one that's going to be determined by what happens in the next 3 games.
Chatting it up with our good friend from the Freak, Dave Birkett. Dave, let me talk to you about this. Hard Knocks came out. Now, everybody lost their, when Hard Knocks came up, the bets went through the moon. The Lions are now winning the NFC North. They may even get to the Super Bowl. Aiden Hutchinson for president. Everybody saw that. You've been there for 2 weeks. Keep the fans and keep us in perspective. What about that was a little bit overfetched, and what about that is true?
Well, I'm optimistic about the season. Maybe not to that level. I think they take a nice step forward this year, win 7 or 8 games, but aren't quite a playoff team. So I hope I've kept that in a proper perspective. And I think for a lot of people, this was really, you see Dan Campbell, and he's such an easy guy to root for and to like and to I guess respond to. And so I think a lot of people probably see that. And they see some likable people on the Lions, and that just, when you come away from watching that, you're like, wow, that's a coach that I like to play for, or I can see him firing his guys up and overachieving. I think it's easy to see, those bets in Vegas taking off, and especially when you're getting the odds the Lions are compared to some of the other teams. But I'll say this, I like what they've done. I was somebody who's been around the league a long time. He was out at practice the other day, and he asked me what I thought. That was sort of the rundown that I gave him, that I think they take a step forward this year, but maybe, fall short of other people's expectations. And he said, I've been around this league for a long time. And he said, there's a reason that, bad teams are bad and good teams are good, or organizations are good. And he's not quite buying the Lions until he sees them win on the field. And a big part of that is Jared Goff. And so I totally understand that as well.
Dave, you mentioned Jared Goff, and obviously, the weapons offensively are getting a lot of the buzz. The wide receiver room looks stacked compared to where it was a year ago. Do they keep 6 wide receivers, or what's the position battle like there? Who's the tail end there trying to fight for a roster spot?
Yeah, keep an eye on Tom Kennedy. He's a guy that just won't go away because he makes plays, he does some things, no matter who's throwing him the ball. They seem to trust him. I do think the Lions keep 6 receivers to start the year. That's just the way that position has trended across the league in recent years. And that doesn't include Jameson Williams, who's probably going to miss the first half of the season. But, DJ Chark has the foot injury that you got to kind of be, careful of. And, so I think it's probably better to go heavy at that position than not. But look, beyond the top 3, I think Khalif Raymond is a lot for a roster spot. And then I think 5, 6 come down to Quintez Cephas, Trinity Benson, and Tom Kennedy. And Cephas hasn't played much this summer because he's been hurt. And Benson has been out here of late. And, Kennedy's a guy, like I said, I would not forget about him. Judging by practice the other day, he's gonna play some first team, special team reps too. And, if he can show a little something there, he's a guy that should earn a roster spot.
Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer, Detroit Free Press. Dave, I want to go to the defensive side of the ball. You mentioned the back 7 being the team's biggest question mark in your perspective. What about at linebacker? So it just seems like a big jumble of guys there. Has anybody separated themselves through camp? Where do you see Jared Davis? The rookie Malcolm Rodriguez looks like he's coming along. Just what's your take on that position?
Yeah, I don't know if you'd say Malcolm has separated himself, but I think he's certainly done enough to earn a roster spot, right? You come into camp and there's a lot of rookies, and you look at a 6th-round pick, and maybe you're thinking practice squad or, what is this role going to be? Well, he definitely flashes during camp. He's always in the right spot. He's quick to the ball. I think there's a lot to like about Malcolm Rodriguez. As I look at that position right now, it's going to be Alex Anzalone. The coaches really like him. Maybe more than most fans, but Chris Ward is going to play a role in sub packages, and you have the two young guys, Derek Barnes and Malcolm Rodriguez, and so that might make Jared Davis odd man out. I mean, there are going to be some other guys that stay at that position because they're so valuable on special teams, but there are 8 in camp right now, and I'm just not sure that Jared Davis strikes me more as an insurance proposition at the position than anything else.
Hey, Dave, just your opinion. We're just talking hypothetical here. It ain't going to happen. Roquan Smith, would you trade your second first-round pick for him?
Hell yeah.
Man, he would look.
Thank you.
Defense lacks true playmakers. Maybe Aiden Hutchinson, but they just don't have a lot of playmakers on defense, and especially in that back seven, Roquan would be that. Would I trade my second first-round pick? Man, that's a lot to give up, because I think this is the one thing that would give me pause with that is just you're going to need a quarterback at some point, and having 2 first-round picks gives you flexibility in what should be a good quarterback draft. So it'd be tough for me to trade my second first-round pick, but if that other team thinks you're going to be picking at the top of the second round, hey, maybe there's not that much difference in those picks.
Dave Birkett, we'll check you out on freak.com tonight. Why don't you post your story? And thanks so much for doing this, my friend. Dave Birkett on Twitter at Dave Birkett. Also, spend a buck. Local journalism matters. Freak.com.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Yep, we'll see you guys.
You got it. Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press.
Always
lots to chew on there. We went over with him, so I'm going to take a break, react to what he had to say. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Cintron.
All right, Cintron, the official drink of the Detroit Red Wings, the Tigers, and the Detroit Pistons. Right now, for a limited edition, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings is proud to present their limited edition 6-pack that creates the cranberry, the sugar-free, as well as the original. Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings right now, where you can order yours right now. Listen, you see that crown on top of Cintron? They're trying to put a crown on your head, trying to make the memories a little bit better for you, trying to get you energized as you get through the summer. So why don't you go ahead and let them be a part of the memories. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
All right, Woodward Sports Network excited for some Lions football tonight, baby. Starter is going to play a quarter. Interesting, too. This is really probably the last time we'll see the starters in a preseason game because they do have practices with the Colts next week.
And this is the only game at Ford Field in the preseason.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want to go cheap to go watch your team, tonight's the night.
Yeah, the one thing I want to react to real quick is the last thing we talked about, the Roquan Smith thing. Now, we understand that they're probably not going to take a shot on Roquan Smith, but the only reason why I think it's a real situation in terms of giving up that second first-round pick is because of this. That Mike linebacker situation, like that's the type of guy, that's the type of person he can set that defense on fire.
He's your quarterback.
Oh my God, man! You took the words out of my mouth. You gotta have a guy on the other side of the ball that's a commander and chief, like a Bobby Wagner, like a Ray Lewis, like a Singletary, like a Urlacher. He is in line with that. You look at what he's done for the first 4 years of his career. He's in line with all the greats in terms of the stats that they possess. He's trying to play football. If you read what his comments were about the Bears, he said one first. He said, they don't want to win here. I want to win. I'm giving my all every day because I want to win. Thing two, they don't value me here, which they don't. They don't value anybody, but we know that to be the Chicago Bears. That's somebody that can take your defense. Right now, the defense that the Lions have in place right now, he can take that defense to the next level. He said 4 years of practice, leading men. He said 4 years, and he's played with Khalil Mack. He's played with Akeem Hicks. He's played with Robert Quinn, who had 18.5 sacks last year. So he's played with great players, knows how to lead. And oh, by the way, what school did he go to? That's the type of guy that could come in right now and light a match under Aiden Hutchinson. You know what? That's the type of guy that will get a guy like Charles Harris, who's already getting better, light another match under him. He can get the secondary going. You talk about wanting to get a quarterback, and I understand that. I definitely understand. You want to have 2 picks. Guess what? There are other teams in the draft this year that have 2 picks that are in a better situation than us to get those guys. He's the quarterback of the defense. That's a situation I would go after that guy. And I understand they're in our division. We might not be able to get him. But I would do everything I could because he fits the system. He's a hard-nosed guy that's gonna come to a hard-nosed team. I'm just saying, man, it's a decision to at least think about seriously.
He's a sure bet. Your draft pick is a crap shot.
You're looking for him.
Absolutely.
So
it's his 5th year, for crying out loud.
So the interesting part about Roquan Smith, too, is I read an article today. I think it was Lynn Henning in the Detroit News talking about.
We got to make sure we give all the credit due nowadays, right?
Well, we always do. It was Lynn Henning in the Detroit News talking about the failures of Al Avila as general manager and something that the next GM of the Tigers could not do. And amongst the things that Lynn listed, and this is so appropriate, is, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't have it in front of me and I apologize, I'm paraphrasing, is that he didn't take chances. Everything was safe. There was nothing out there that was aggressive where you were like, yeah, this is an aggressive play. Can't believe he did that. I'm wondering, and I guess you would say that trading up to get Jameson Williams was that aggressiveness out of Brad Holmes, but would this be, you can't build a football team and play it safe forever.
Yeah.
And now I love what Brad Holmes is doing, but that doesn't mean 100% of the decisions he makes is great. Could you and would you love to see just an aggressive go get it now with a guy like Roquan Smith? I think that is the kind of GM we are lacking here in Detroit. Perhaps to a certain extent, Troy Weaver has been that guy a little bit. Steve Yzerman, not so much.
No.
Brad Holmes, not so much. And Troy Weaver has made some moves. But you don't have to always play it safe. Go for the jugular if there's a player out there that fits a need. Roquan Smith is a playmaker that, you know what, if you got to part with a first rounder, part with a first rounder. Your first round pick, you hope, becomes Roquan
Remember, the
Smith.
Bears GM is new as well.
Yeah.
He's trying to put his mark on the team.
100%.
Call him.
Here it is. Like, make a deal. I tell you, 2009, the New York Jets and Rex Ryan, Mike Tannenbaum, friend of the show, traded for an individual from the Cleveland Browns who had just gotten into an altercation outside of a nightclub. Individual was jumped by 4 guys. He knocked the 4 guys out. But he was in an altercation. That individual was me. So when the New York Jets, they picked me up, they trade for me. I bet there was a bunch of New York Jets fans like, whoa, didn't he just get into some stuff? Are we moving him, and is this the right direction we need to move into? I don't know if this is the type of guy that we need to add to the team. Mike Tannenbaum, Rex, because Rex knew me from his time in Baltimore, he took a chance. He took a chance on me. We went to back-to-back AFC championships, not just because of me, because of the squad, but he took a chance. So I'm telling you, I can see that. That's one of the reasons why Roquan didn't go as high as he's supposed to. People got nervous of it and didn't want to take that chance. Sometimes you got to take a chance, Ryan. I agree with you.
Let me ask you guys this question, okay? Lamar Jackson, 5th-year quarterback.
New era.
What would you give up for Lamar Jackson?
No. I give up both my number ones.
What I'm trying to tell you is your Mike linebacker position is the quarterback of the defense. If you have that 5th-year Lamar Jackson type player on the defensive side of the ball, wouldn't you be willing to just give everything you've got to go get Lamar Jackson? I don't think you'd give up everything to go get Roquan Smith, but I think you can be certainly very aggressive and make a very appropriate offer to the Chicago Bears for the quarterback of your defense, that you're not just taking on Roquan Smith, the player. You are making everybody around you better with a player like Roquan Smith at the Mike linebacker. I'd like you to react to that next, Braylon. We'll take a break, come right back, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, and tells the bad guys one thing: stay out.
Stay out.
Whether you're home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you, stay safe. Call that number right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out. That
Stay
number
out.
again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. D. Smitty says, do we have Roquan Smith money and draft capital now?
Yes.
That is the important question. And the answer to both of those questions is yes and yes. You got everything you need to get a guy like Roquan Smith. And again, you just got to take a chance. You only get to do this once. Most people only get to do this once. Most.
Yeah. And
it's just like why Dan Campbell took over the play calling duties last year for Anthony Lynn. He's like, you know, I got to do something for. I'm gonna get one crack at this. You got to do something. So, you know, I don't want to make a bigger deal than it is, but I think this is a player out there that I would equate to, you know, a 5th-year Lamar Jackson type player that you could get for your defense in Roquan Smith.
Rookie year, 121, 1 interception, 2 sacks. Next year, 101, he missed a couple games. Next year, 139 and 2 interceptions and 5 sacks. Next year, 163, 3 sacks, another pick, a touchdown off that pick. He's showing you he's the pick. One, we have enough. In both of those, we have enough. And he's already proven he's going to be worth it. The only problem with a situation like that is the way in which Brad Holmes is going about building his team. He's been saving money. He's been building through the draft. He's been building through the young guys from last year and this year. So everybody's excited about that. Everybody likes having money in their pocket. So you make a move like that, well, you lose some money in your pocket. You lose a draft pick before the draft happens. And then everybody's up in arms. But you know the payoff is going to be worth it. The payoff is going to be worth it. I believe it's a decision. I'm not saying you have to, but this would be a wise decision because Mike linebackers, when they play at that level, they make everybody around them. Like, I've watched the game for a long time, just like you have, Maz, and you have, Ryan. When those Mike linebackers get into that huddle before they go on the field, it's nothing like it. Especially if it's a Mike linebacker that plays at the caliber of level of Roquan Smith, as you're looking at his stats. So, I mean, if they don't make the move, then trust me, it won't kill us. But it's just a situation where you see a guy that's unhappy, you see a guy that requests a trade, you see a guy that's down the street that you know can enhance right now. I had them winning 7 games. Like, I got the Lions winning 7 games, and I won't change it for anybody. You give me Roquan Smith on this team, I'll change it to 9. He makes that much of a difference from that position, getting the most out of it. It's just like a quarterback. Give me a good quarterback. He's going to make the players around him better. You would easily, for a good quarterback, raise the level from, let's say Justin Herbert was our quarterback. That's a fair comparison. Let's say Justin Herbert was our quarterback, one of these young studs. Put him on the Lions team. It instantly goes from 7 for me to 9 or 7 to 10. It's the same thing with Roquan Smith.
Maz Boom says he's not even a top 5 player at his position. I think he's a top 4 player.
Talking about Roquan?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, most people have him somewhere between 5 and 7. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If you're talking about number 7, the 5 guys that you have in front of him, and one's a bubble, they are all lights out, insanely good. Fred Warner's numbers, Bobby Wagner's numbers. Are you serious? Darius Leonard's numbers, Demario Davis numbers. Guess what? Roquan Smith is in an argument.
And guess what? He'd be number 1 on our defense. Number 1.
And Bobby Wagner, by the way, is an 11-year veteran,
and he's still a tackling machine.
You're talking about a 25-year-old stud that's got 6, 7, 8 more years in him.
Yeah.
No injuries.
You know,
100%.
Either way, it's a position of need for the Detroit Lions, and I just think he makes everybody better.
The last linebacker he had here was DeAndre Levy, and it didn't last long.
Yeah.
Tulloch before that, Spielman before that, for crying out loud.
And it just it's a position here in Detroit that sets the tone as well, right?
We're a physical, gritty city. Yeah, you heard Hard Knocks. We're a physical, gritty city. We're one of those Steelers cities, Cleveland cities. Yeah, we're one of those. When you think of us, you think of Ford. You saw the intro to Hard Knocks. What is it? It's the assembly line, putting together a vehicle. Well, guess what? He's a vehicle that's already put together.
I am curious to see what the wide receivers do tonight, because I think that is a position where there are some roster battles. There are also, Braylon, there's position battles on the back end. Jeff Okudah was a player that I think most of us are interested in. Pretty intrigued to see how much time he gets tonight, whether Will Harris gets the start tonight and goes with the ones or not. That is a position that I think all eyes will be on number 1 out there.
The 2 things that I want to see, and I agree with you, that will be a position, because everybody's talking about Jeff Okudah. This is now the make or break year for Jeff Okudah. He's healthy. He has the regime that respects him. He has the coaches that can coach him the right way. So it's make or break, so I agree with you. What I want to see tonight, I want to see crispness, which is a hard word to say because it's not crispness. Crispness.
You got to do that one slowly,
You
Bray.
do, though. I want to see crispness. And I also want to see discipline. Okay, that's the things we talked about. You see Dan Campbell starting drills over. You see Dan Campbell yelling at his guys, cutting the music off because they didn't break the huddle very crisp-like. You see Dan Campbell getting mad at yelling at guys because they're jumping off sides or they're creating penalties in which he's already talked to guys about. So I want to see that. The other thing that I want to see, what is the position that we talk about the most as being our strength? It is the big uglies. I want to see the aggression from the offensive line, and I want to see how DeAndre Swift runs behind the offensive line. That's what I'm most keen on tonight.
What else do you want to see? It is Fill in the Blank Fridays, everybody. Lions Game Day edition. We'll do it next, but first a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Gypsy Vodka is here, and they are getting better and better and better. Shout out to Adam and Mike. Michigan's own support Michigan distillers. Let's keep it in state. Let's stop going outside the state. Michigan is a great state. It's one of the greatest states. But guess what? They got great with the Mulligan. The Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka, 8% alcohol seltzer. So you got to watch yourself. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but it is smooth. You can have it on the golf course. You can have it in the backyard, barbecuing, kicking it up with the family. I might have some this weekend as I'm chilling on the couch, watching a little bit of baseball. Football's on the way. Iced tea, lemonade, and mango are the flavors. Super smooth, goes down well. I'm telling you. I wouldn't lie to you guys. I wouldn't lie to you. But if you're going to drink, remember to always drink responsibly. The Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. It is something we like to do. Do you like how I say that or no? You don't like the way I say it. Woodward!
Nah, I don't like it.
You don't like that, man?
No.
I like it, just not every time.
Yeah, it's just different.
I like it. You got to hit him with it like once or twice a show. Maybe once.
I like how you asked me, though.
Fair enough. Well, I like to know.
You kind of picked my brain.
I like it more than Maz likes it, pause, but at the same time.
I was just thinking about it, and you asked me. It's pretty good.
I'm glad. I want you to be honest with me.
I am.
Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. Let's do it.
That's it.
Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment.
How do we not get 200 a day?
So, you know what? That's on them. They have to answer that question. Side note, yesterday I was at Jimmy's house, and I was watching the heavyweights, and I was in the chat and just commenting, going back and forth with individuals in the chat. It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun thing, but you got to pull yourself back. You got to reel yourself in at times.
You and Jimmy are like Batman and Robin now.
No, don't say it. But he's a good dude. You
Jimmy
know
the sales guy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Jimmy the sales guy is a great guy.
Love
But you
Jimmy
know
V.
what? Jimmy lives, so I'm at Maple and Haggerty, which is 15. 15 and Haggerty. He's at 14 and Haggerty. I'm talking about legitimately it takes me 2 minutes to get to the house and vice versa.
Jimmy is sweet on a lane.
Hey, I tell you what, nobody's working harder than him right now at World Sports. Maybe Stick. Outside of that boy is working hard, man. Shout out to all the work he's doing.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. All right, Maz, we started this a couple of weeks ago. We're continuing. It is called Fill in the Blank Friday, baby. Maz, fire away.
Here we go. It's Lions Game Day edition. Game number 1 at Ford Field against the Atlanta Falcons. You will not see your Lions again home until they play and beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 1. Okay, fill in the blank. Will lead the Lions in receiving yards tonight. Blank
first.
will
Go
receive.
ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
You know I always give 2.
I know.
All right, you know what? I'm going to give you 1 tonight.
There you go.
I'm going to just give you 1. Josh Reynolds.
All right.
I say Josh Reynolds is going to, because Josh Reynolds is a bubble player right now. Not a bubble player in terms of making a team. Bubble player because he's floating around starting and being the second team guy or being the third team guy once James Williams and Quintez Cephas comes back. I think he's the guy that's going to get his touches. He's going to go out there, and he's also a 1 guy. I had Khalif Raymond, but Khalif's an inside guy. Josh Reynolds, book it.
All right, buddy.
I'm going to go with Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy, Dave Burkett's guy.
It's my guy.
And Maz's guy. Mentioned that, he was really fighting for a roster spot. And these backup quarterbacks, what do? I mean, they check down and throw it to the first guy they see a lot of times. And I think Tom Kennedy on those shorter routes is going to get a lot of quick passes.
Okay.
He's a yak guy, yards after catch. Tom Kennedy going to lead them in receiving yards tonight.
All right, number 2, blank will take the lead in the backup quarterback race.
I think the reason why this guy won the starting job at Purdue over Elijah Sindelar is decision making. He has a good arm as well, but decision making is what separate him from a couple of the other quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Now you're talking about David Blau. David Blau's decision making is going to be better than TB12.
I think TB12 will, and for the reasons that Birkett spoke to earlier. It is just different playing behind that second offensive line compared to a third-string offensive line. I think whoever goes second tonight is going to separate themselves as the leader, just because by the sheer level of talent of the players they're playing with.
Okay, you heard me earlier in the week. We played some Dan Campbell sound for you. He talked about the field goal kickers. You know me and my kickers. By the way, Justin Tucker, last night, looks like he's in midseason form already. Highest paid kicker, best kicker ever in football, by the way. How about our kicker? Who will take control of the field goal kicking duties?
I'm sticking with Austin Seibert. Seibert, depending on how you want to say it. I'm sticking with Austin Seibert because of what he did last year. Last year, we thought he was just the guy. We were like, oh, let's get him out of here. Came on strong last year. He looked good. I don't think you can take him. I think, what's the other guy named? Pat Riley?
Riley Patterson.
I did that. I like Pat Riley. I don't think Riley Patterson's going to take over. I'm sticking with my guy, Austin Seibert.
I'm going to go with Riley Patterson. Okay. I think Riley Patterson took advantage of an opportunity last year. When Seibert went down, Riley Patterson was really good for this football team. I think 13 of 16 attempts last year. I go with Riley Patterson. I think he earned the spot.
Seibert has the longer leg. Seibert is definitely inside 50. He's money, that kid. But you need someone from 55 or maybe even 60.
You need your Baranis, A.K. Prater. Hey, side note, he and I have disagreed all 3 times right now. I'm letting you know this is a mistake right now. 3 disagreements in a row.
By the way, Patterson last year, just look at it, he was 13 of 14 in field goals. His only miss last year was from 50 plus.
That's what I'm saying. He's good inside 50.
He led the Lions with 55 points scored last year.
That's something.
That's terrible.
That's all.
Yeah, his long was 49.
Yep.
4 of 4 from 40 to 49. Look,
he's money inside.
If he was 13 for 13 last year inside of 50 yards. If you give me 13 of 13 inside of 50, man, you Riley Patterson.
You say he was 4 of 4 from 40 to 49?
Yeah.
So that means all his kicks are coming basically inside 39 yards.
They're extra points.
Stop it.
Well, I mean, they couldn't score in the red zone.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him for making the kicks that he was tasked to make. I'm just saying, like, stop it.
16 of 16 for extra points, 13 of 14 in field goals, and his only miss was 50 plus.
Remember that game we lost because of that kicker that looked like you just pulled him off the street?
Oh, poor guy.
Ryan Santoso.
What a shame.
I know.
What a shame.
Anyway, I got one more for you for tonight. Blank will be the standout of tonight's game.
Malcolm Rodriguez.
I like that.
Malcolm Rodriguez will be the standout. Like in games like this where the offense, like early on in preseason, offenses are trying to figure themselves out. Defenses usually have the upper hand in the preseason. Guy like Malcolm Rodriguez, he's a heavyweight favorite. He's a guy that wants to prove himself. He's a guy that wants to come show how tough he is. Probably been a discounted type guy his whole life. Watch Malcolm Rodriguez comes out with 8 tackles tonight and maybe a forced fumble or a fumble recovery. Book it.
You guys ready for this?
Nope.
I am.
Jeff Okudah.
I knew it. I was going to say it. What you were going to say?
I assume Will Harris, if the depth chart that we saw earlier in the week is the truth, what we'll see tonight, Will Harris will get the start with the ones defensively for the Lions. That means Jeff Okudah will play with the 2s. Usually with the 2s, you get the backup quarterback on the other team and the backup receivers on the other team. I think Jeff Okudah shines tonight. That's my guy I'm going with. Jeff Okudah, Lions, baby.
But you do realize when you're the third DB, that means in nickel, you play with the ones. Jeff Okudah's going to be on the outside. Jeff Okudah's going to have to go against a guy by the name of Drake London.
I'll tell you, our YouTube chat is off the hook today. Over 400 right now, and everybody's got their opinions on tonight because it's the Lions.
It's the Kool-Aid.
That's it, baby.
Everybody's drinking the
I'm going to the game.
You are, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, do you go straight from here?
I'm going straight from here.
Walk me through your night.
I'm going to hang here, prep for Monday a little. You know, I always like to do my prep. I'll leave here. I'll go to Brooklyn Pizza. I'll grab a couple of slices. I'll have a soda to go. Park downtown. I know my spot. I got my spot. And I will go in and I will pay for the cheapest ticket online and go in.
You didn't get a credential?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to ask for a credential. I'm just going to go in buy a ticket.
Good for you.
Cheap ticket.
You going with anybody you know?
No, I'm going by myself.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like walking around, sitting with a bunch of people. And I have fun. It's like I go. It's like I'm with everybody. By the time you're there, you're talking to everybody. I have so much fun at the games.
Like, you do realize us three, now we've been at it a year now. That's at least what our August 12th says.
And we've never done anything together.
We go to dinner together.
Not games.
That's what I was going to say. Like, us three haven't been to a sporting event. Like, basketball season has come and gone. Hockey season has come and gone. Baseball season is almost gone.
Count me in.
Football. Count me in, too.
Count me in.
We got.
For what?
We got. It
For
doesn't matter.
Anything.
We got.
I'm in.
We got.
How many YouTubers are going down to the game? I'll meet you guys down there. Pick a freaking section, and I'll meet you.
Space Agent 710 says, see you there, man.
Let's go. Pick a section. I'll meet you guys.
Good,
there it is.
Good stuff. All right, guys, some big stories happening in the NFL. Deshaun Watson has said what he would agree to. Talking about a suspension for Watson will go around the NFL. Antonio Brown with an incredible regret that he has. And I want you to see what the Washington football team, the Washington Commanders president, said to one reporter on Twitter.
Oh, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Can't wait for that. But first, a message from Academy of Warren.
Academy of Warren is currently enrolling for kindergarten through 8th grade. It features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. Speaking of athletics, Academy of Warren features a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house that is a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net. That is academyofwarren.net.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey everybody, Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch and Flannel with us, having fun on a Friday. Thank you so much for making us part of your day here on Woodward Sports Network. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to Woodward Sports as well. All right, so before we go around the NFL, I do want to get to did you see this? Antonio Bryant. I played with Antonio Bryant. Yeah, right.
I played with a fellow Biletnikoff guy.
You.
I told you I played with everybody. Pause.
Antonio Brown said recently, where did he say this, by the way?
To everybody.
His own thing. His own Instagram.
Thank you.
Instagram.
So this is his Instagram. My biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM a cracker or showing up to the Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jets Stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks.
You know what he left out? Throwing furniture out of his 17th floor apartment window into a pool.
What about the bag of dicks?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Just saying.
AB. Go ahead, Bray.
It didn't qualify as a pretty big regret.
Yeah.
Bray, I don't know why I come to you on this.
He's a wide receiver. So many ways you can go when you're talking about the great Antonio Brown. Thing one, I'm surprised you know what Red Rocks is. So shout out to him for knowing that. It's an amazing place. I've been there. Everybody always talks about receivers, like being the divas or being like the interesting ones. And it's true to a certain extent. But because we play one of the positions, the only position where you can do everything right and not be successful. Just let that marinate for a second. You can do everything right at wide receiver and not be successful. You can get open, you can block, you can be ready, and the quarterback can suck. The offensive line can suck. The running back can mix protection, etc., or you never throw the ball. Now, with that being said, he's a little step way above like all wide receivers. Like, this is on another level. I don't know where to go with this. Like Antonio Brown talking about, it's like Jesus, or it's like watching the Beatles perform at Red Rocks. Like, I don't know what has entered his mind on the same level, because he seems like he's sane. I just don't know where to go with AB. What I will tell you this, I just don't know.
Well, I don't even consider him an all-time great. He's an upper echelon wide receiver during his time.
This is what I would say. But I won't cut you off there. I would say this. Is
he a Hall of Famer?
Well, they will never let Antonio Brown get in the Hall of Fame.
Forget about if he actually gets the gold jacket. But, I mean, is Antonio Brown one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game? I mean, I think of that list that you just did last week.
No, and he's better than everybody on that list.
Really?
Antonio Brown has arguably the best 5-year run that any wide receiver's ever had ever, including Jerry Rice.
Pull that up then.
Like, Antonio Brown in that 5-year window, if Ben Roethlisberger doesn't pull the Ben Roethlisberger POS move, if Ben says, hey, you know what, we got to pay Antonio Brown, we got to keep him happy, blah, 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 and he's still a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah, never mind. He's a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
My bad.
Antonio Brown's 5-year window from 2000 and
really 6. It's a 6-year window from
2013
to 18. But that's 6 seasons.
He's on the cover of Matt. Like, well, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. He was ridiculous.
Here's the average. You ready? In the 2013 to 2018, in those 6 seasons,
1,600 yards a game.
The averages averaged 171 targets, 114 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 11 touchdowns. That's averages. That's what he averaged.
He had back-to-back 1,800-yard seasons, by the way.
He was amazing.
He did not.
No doubt about it.
He had a 1698, 1,700-yard, and an 1834. So, I mean,
and in the 1,600-yard season, he missed one game, and in the 1,700-yard season, he missed one game.
He's trolling the NFL.
He played 16 both years.
He's trolling the NFL because he's not on a team right now.
He missed you, SOB.
He wants to be playing. He wants to play. So he's trolling the teams that are not giving him a chance to get back in.
I don't believe.
But he wrote his own epitaph when he walked off at the Meadowlands.
And I agree with you on that 100%. He'll never see the light of day as it relates to being on the NFL field, even if it's just to retire as a Pittsburgh Steeler. You know what? I love you. You blew that. He doesn't deserve to be on the field. You didn't respect the shields, plural. Like, you dropped a big deuce everywhere you were, so he doesn't deserve to be on the field. But with that being said, he's not a Hall of Famer because you got to finish it. But just in terms of what could have been,
here's the bad thing about the Hall of Fame, too.
Yeah.
I just read for you, and Braylon, thanks for bringing this up. I just read for you perhaps the greatest 5-year stretch in the 20th century, or the 21st century. In the last 25 years, you would be hard-pressed to find a wide receiver that has better numbers in any 6-year stretch than this. I don't care what he did, who he did, anything like that.
There's only 3 people I know.
You vote for what you see on the field. This guy is a Hall of Famer. Period.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you do off the field.
Terrell Owens got grief.
He got screwed.
He got grief.
Well,
that's why he didn't show up at his own inauguration.
He didn't show up because he didn't get in first ballot. They didn't. The first year he was on the ballot, they didn't vote him in on purpose. Kind of like the guy that stiffed Derek Jeter.
Yep.
That just because.
Coward.
Exactly. But that's why he didn't show up. And I'm not saying I agree with or disagree. He should have been a first ballot. I'm not saying my parents wouldn't let me do that. But that's why he did that.
Yeah.
But T.O. had the longevity.
Sure.
Like T.O. had the longevity, and then he was in the Super Bowl. Like, when you think of T.O., Like, besides the celebrations, first thing you think about, even though a lot of things off the field, a lot of antics, first thing you think about is his performance in the Super Bowl on a broken ankle. It's the first thing you think about. I don't care what you want to talk about his antics. First thing you think about, broken ankle, Super Bowl.
I remember him with that catch with the 49ers when they got crushed in the end zone. Well, no, he got crushed in the end zone.
Against the Packers.
Yeah, was that Garcia hitting him?
Yeah, that was Garcia, and that was against the Packers. That was the semifinal. That was the wild card round of the playoffs.
Just looking at Calvin Johnson's numbers, who also is a Hall of Famer, by the way. I took his best 6-year stretch.
It has nothing like
from 10 to 15. Receptions, 89 receptions to Antonio Brown's 120 receptions. Wow. Antonio Brown, 1,578 yards, 1,424 yards. You're talking about an extra 150 yards on average per game. And 10 receiving touchdowns for Calvin Johnson, 10.8 for Antonio, 10.3 for Calvin. Antonio Brown far surpasses Calvin Johnson in every statistical category except touchdowns, which he's 10.8 and Calvin's 10.3. Guy's a Hall of Famer.
The only person I could bring up, I can bring up one other one, but I'll bring it to make it make sense and keep it with the Hall of Famers, right? And by the way, you guys know a lot about a lot. There's things in football that I would be wrong about arguing with you guys. But when it comes to wide receivers, you know that I know. Randy Moss is the other guy that has a 6-year window that's insane. 13-13-17 was his freshman year. So I got it right here, Ryan. You can look at it. 13-13 and 17 tuds. This was his rookie year, mind you.
Oh, my goodness. This is
14-13, 11 tuds. 14-37, 15 tuds. 12-33, 10 tuds. 14-37, 7 tuds. 16-32, 17 tuds.
It's a lot of numbers.
And once again, if you add it up, AB's numbers might surpass that, except the touchdown.
And they do. Randy Moss's touchdowns average in that 6-year stretch, 12.8.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. We had Terry Fair.
Okay.
Very good. Very interesting look at it. Guys, I want to go around the NFL next to Deshaun Watson and Commanders president Jason Wright calling out a reporter. You got to see this. We have the video as well. We'll play it for you.
You want to laugh? I played with Jason Wright, too.
Oh, my God.
He was out of Northwestern, played with the Browns.
He's a good follow on Twitter.
He is a good follow.
Very Christian man. He's an amazing individual.
We'll get to that next, but first a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as addiction. They do an amazing job, and I'm talking about Sean Jordan, NFL alumni chapter of Detroit. Everything is about having the conversation. Everything is about connecting. We connect. He connects. They do an amazing job for SMA. The Sports Marketing Agency also started a podcast here at Woodward Sports, and it's called This is the F Word. And the F Word stands for, of course, fentanyl. If you or anybody you know wants some help, needs some help, wants some questions, wants some answers, or you just want to have the conversation or be okay having the conversation, go to thesportsma.com. The answers are there. The questions are there. It's very discreet. Don't worry. It is okay to not be okay.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt.
That's
right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. That is bigfrog.com/Novi.
Big Frog. Okay, so I am very passionate about this next
What are you passionate
subject.
about, buddy?
Am I.
I'm very passionate about reporters and media, traditional media, more so than, newer media. I think they're, what we're doing now is I think, pretty new, just being in the digital space and all that stuff on YouTube over here. You don't have that traditional radio dial, what I mean? So
it's new
whatever.
stuff.
It's new stuff. However you want to look at it.
We're putzing around trying to figure it out.
So, a couple of instances, and if you just give me a minute here, Bray.
Say less.
Because I think there's two different ways to go about things. I'm going to play for you this. It happened a couple of weeks ago, and it was in regards to Nick Castellanos. Okay? Nick Castellanos had an interaction with a reporter. I want you to hear what the reporter asks, and then Castellanos responds.
Did you hear the blues there when you struck out and they played the game there?
No, man, I lost my hearing.
So you didn't hear it?
Come on, man, it's a stupid question.
Why is it a stupid question?
Can anybody else answer that for him? Anybody? Yeah, man, that's a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question. If it's a stupid question, you should be equipped to answer it.
All right. I did answer it.
All right. The answer you should be able to handle a stupid question.
We got the answer. But that doesn't mean that I can't say that it's a stupid question.
It wasn't a stupid question. It's a legit question.
If I heard the booze, that's a rhetorical question. Of course, it's a stupid
Did you
question.
hear the booze?
That's a stupid question.
We got
the answer. We're good. Thanks, guys.
Then you should be able to handle a stupid question.
I did.
All right, so that reporter in Philadelphia trying to get a comment. Probably the biggest story that happened in that game is that the Phillies' big-time free agent got booed at home. How do you go about asking that question? To me, that question was a layup. The way he asked it was a layup. Now, just give me a minute here. That was a layup.
In case people didn't hear him because it was low.
He said, did you hear the booze?
And Nick Castellanos says, no, I lost my hearing.
It's a dumb question.
I lost my hearing.
Compare that to this. This is an ABC 7 local Washington reporter with Carson Wentz. It's about a minute long.
This is like a Dan Miller sit down.
Dan Miller
with our
would never ask
quarterback.
these questions.
No, I'm just saying. I have to compare.
I know, yeah, but that's
what they
how you
understand.
Would you let Ryan do his thing?
Right.
Sorry.
So here you go. Take a listen to
There's
this.
been kind of a narrative out there here in training camp that you've been a little inaccurate on your throws. Consistently inconsistent has been a kind of a terminology. How would you assess your performance in training camp, and is that characterization fair?
Yeah, I mean, for one, it's camp. I think I didn't know that, so thank you.
Yep.
But
Because I know you told me you don't read that stuff.
At the same time, I'm my biggest critic, so I come back after practice and I'm kicking myself over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays.
Real talk here, Carson. It's been well documented. Philly didn't want you. Indy didn't want you. Do you think this is your last chance to prove that you can be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't really think about all that stuff. For me, I'm playing the game that I love, and I have the most confidence of anybody in myself to deliver, to play at a high level, to be a part of something special here with this team. And so I don't put all that pressure on myself. I don't put people can feel that way. People can say what they want, and
okay. So Carson Wentz was so gracious in answering that question. Right. And the reason I played them both for you is because the guy at ABC 7 there, he was looking to provoke.
Yeah.
He was looking to jab, needle. He wanted the bite. I thought that was an inappropriate question. Again, not what you ask, how you ask it. I thought that was piss poor on how he asked that question, in my opinion. The other guy, when he says, did you hear the booze? It's an innocent way to go about it. You might not like the question, but it's an innocent way to go about it. That guy is just trying to have a conversation about the booze. This guy is trying to provoke, and I think those two things are so different to me.
Hold on, Bray. Put the tweet up now, Fletch. That Jason, that Washington.
Hold on. Save the tweet and let me and Ryan have this moment, and then we'll address the tweet after. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen at home, this won't be an angry black man. So listen, I get it. because the second individual, he was definitely trying to be a prick in asking the question. And Carson Wentz handled it so smooth, so elegant, with grace. I give him a ton of credit in that situation. And the other guy should be fired. The other guy, I think you're being a little bit too nice to him. And this is the only reason why I say that is this. Watch after the question is asked, where he says, "Did you hear the boos?" And then Castellanos comes back and he says, "No, I lost my hearing," or "I'm deaf now." And after that, the individual that asked the question, he starts to get a little aggressive. Got aggressive enough where they had to bring the head of media. Media personnel had to come in and step in. Castellanos never moved from his spot. The other guy kept inching closer and closer, which let me know there was a little bit more aggression behind that question than asked. Now, what I will say to this is I agree with you. There's two ways to answer questions. But the other thing, here's a small caveat, Ryan. Maz, here's a small caveat. There's two different scenarios. It's two different scenarios. One guy's coming off the field of a game that night, in that moment, and he's still in that moment, and he's asked that question. The other guy, he's sitting in the breeze in practice or training camp as it relates, just having an interview with a guy, probably certain that the media personnel, because this is what they do, they kind of give you a hint on questions that might be asked by the people you sit down with. So Carson probably already knew in a cool situation, there was no game that just happened. I guarantee you, if you ask him that question after the Colts Jacksonville game, when he lost to Jacksonville to miss the playoffs, would have been a little bit slight more aggression in his voice. With that being said, the scenarios are different, but definitely Wentz was full class, and Castellanos, how you say his name?
Castellanos.
Okay, Castellanos. Castellanos definitely was already, you could tell he's an a-hole, but I give him a little bit more because of how he approached that question after the scenario.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but to your point, definitely class on Wentz side, not so much on Castellanos' side, but there's just different scenarios. But to your point, great mirror images of asking the question. I like that.
All right, Washington's president.
I thought that was great.
Was I not angry enough?
You were good.
Totally fair assessment.
I appreciate that.
All right, so
getting better.
So Washington's president, Jason Wright. This is the Rod Wood of Washington. He says, thankfully, Carson demonstrated grace and class in response to this pompous, unprofessional mess. I recognize you have made a living on childlike provocation, but it needs to be called out. Then here's the kicker. Don't expect special access, and good luck building rapport with the guys at Scott7 News. He calls out Scott there. So the president, let's say it's Rod Wood, has just told Ryan Ermanni, hey, don't even bother coming in here anymore. We're not giving you any more interviews. And don't talk to the guys because they're not going to talk to you either.
Man, I just don't understand as you, because he's a young guy. That reporter was a young guy. Do you? I want you guys at home that can see this.
His name is Scott Abrahams.
He's not a young guy, though. I think that looked like a pretty seasoned guy.
He's a pompous guy. Loves himself.
He's
I
like
can tell
30.
you that.
He's like 36. That's young. That's young in this game. So you guys at home that were watching, guys and gals that were home watching that, you saw that it was a one-on-one interview during training camp. Do you know how hard it is to get a one-on-one interview with a starting quarterback? A starting quarterback. You got that one-on-one access. Go ahead.
That's paid. That's a paid agreement with the station.
That's fine, but do you know how long it takes you to get into a place to get that interview? Like the network gets the interview, but you as an individual, how long does it take? How long does it take you to get in that role where you can ask that question?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to have a relationship, right? This whole thing's about relationships.
So you finally get in that situation where you get a chance to interview him, and this is setting you up for the future. And you ask that question in that way twice over, man, you got to think about it. Think before you speak. Now, I understand the heat of the moment. That wasn't the heat of the moment. You came in there trying to be a you-know-what. Didn't work out so well for you. Shout out to Jay Wright, former teammate of mine, amazing spiritual brother.
You want to read Pro Football Talk?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. You go. Go ahead.
This is our friend at Pro Football Talk. Mike Florio. This is the problem with league and team-owned media. The teams get used to puff and fluff. They get upset by fair questions. They expect softballs in exchange for access. These are fair questions that someone who works directly for the team would never ask. That's what he replied. Mike Florio replied to Jason Wright, calling him out now.
Right.
So he's sticking up for the reporter and the reporters that are out there.
And I understand, as you should. There's reporters, there's players, or there's teams. However you want to word it, there is, two different sides. But there also should be another side. There should be a side of respect. Like at the end of the day, yes, you can ask Carson Wentz a tough question, but find another way to ask it. Because if you pay attention to that interview, he wasn't even looking at Carson Wentz when he asked that question.
Yeah.
Like, to not look at somebody in the eye, in the words of a New York Giant great, I want you to look me in the eye when you're going to crucify me. And that was Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
I want you to look me in the eye. Like, don't ask me a question. If Ryan Ermanni is who I'm interviewing, this would be me looking at Ryan. Don't ask the question, yeah, so Ryan Ermanni, tell me what happened and blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, don't be that cool.
One more aspect about this I got to get to.
Okay.
It's bugging the hell out of me. I gotta mention it next. But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
And in Hamtramck, Michigan, of course, in the game, football and bowling, invented by Chris Hutt. He'll even be there to tell you the rules. 2 ways to play, $12 unlimited open play, and of course, you have your own private lane reservation for 2 hours. 10 or 12 people on a lane costs you $120. That's less than $10 per person. Any drink you want, multiple full bars, over 100 beers, the $2 mystery beer machine, and you can bring your own food in or even have it delivered. Get your fold on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Planet Fitness is currently inviting all high school teens ages 14 to 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summer Pass, and it goes all the way until August 31st. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere with membership starting at only $10 a month, or you can get a black card for $24.99 per month. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Well over 30,000 subscribers on this platform. Thanks so much. Hopefully you guys are about to have a great weekend. Plenty of plans
100%.
in store. Maz, I know you wanted to clean something up. What do you got?
Not cleaning it up. I want to tell you about your man, Kirk Cousins. He is COVID positive. That's all.
Experiencing any symptoms?
Not sure.
No, he's not vaccinated, correct?
No.
Yeah, I remember that from
But he'll
last
be okay after that.
The CDC now no longer, by the way, not to get it, no longer distinguishes between vaccinated and unvaccinated, by the way.
It's a free-for-all.
You'll wonder how many people lost their jobs for that.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Side note, before we get serious about, we're laughing or be serious about the COVID and the whole that's been the last 3 years. Michigan State quarterbacks find a way to stay in the NFL.
Yeah, they do. Brian Hoyer.
I'm watching the game last night. What? Dropping dimes.
He's making a lot of money for New England.
Like Brian Hoyer's making like $10 million this year. Like, I'm not hating because he was dropping dimes. Connor Cook. is in the NFL somewhere. Drew Stanton, I think, is out, but he might get a phone call. They'll have another one with Peyton Thorne to be in the league next year.
He will be.
I think Drew Stanton's a coach.
Yeah,
I think
he is.
He's Arizona or something.
He's on Arizona's roster. Then Peyton Thorne will be in the league next year. Kirk Cousins is in the NFL.
Jim Miller on the radio.
Michigan State quarterbacks find a way to stay. Hey, Michigan,
Chad,
come on, man.
They got Chad Henne.
We got time. That's all that matters.
So on the COVID front, you don't have to wear masks. You don't have to sit out. No quarantine.
Yeah, maybe maybe Djokovic can play in New York now.
I hope he does. I hope they let him play.
Either way, forget about that stuff. One thing I wanted to say about this announcer this local sportscaster in Washington, the interview in Washington. Just like Castellanos came off a game, you're in the locker room. As a reporter, you're coming off the game too, where you only have so long to process. This guy, in a scheduled, planned interview that had nothing to do with that practice, is literally thinking about questions probably to ask Carson Wentz, and that's the one you come up with. That's not a heat of the moment question. That is a planned, thought out, and executed question. In my opinion, trying to get him to say something. Again, in life, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
What about something along the lines of, and I'm just what about how much of your past experiences fuel you into this season?
You've been traded a couple of times.
Something like that.
Oh, you've been traded a couple of times. Yeah. Is this your last stop? Or I don't know. Something like that?
Yeah. How much fuel do you take in your past experiences in Philadelphia and Indianapolis?
How would you reword the booing? Did you hear the booing?
I think that was good.
But would you have said it differently? Not did you hear the booing? How about how's the booing affect you?
Okay, fine. I have no problem with the booing question.
Yeah, but see that
because it's just a layup. You're trying to get a comment. You're trying to get a comment on the boos. You're just lobbing it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it. You know, what are you gonna do? Because I'm watching the Derek Jeter documentary. And one of the a huge part of that is about how Derek Jeter dealt with the media.
Yeah, but he's one of a kind.
Yeah, but it just gives you a blueprint, though, too. Gives you a blueprint.
It does, but he's also one of a kind. There's a lot of blueprints. Sometimes you can't follow him. Side note, I got a little pushback.
Sure, please.
You said, well, just like the guys coming off the game, well, the reporters just coming off the game too. BS. Because the reporters watched for 9 innings. That booing didn't happen in inning 9.
I don't know when it happened.
That booing didn't happen in inning 9.
Maybe it happened in the 7th.
That booing happened in the 5th or the 4th, and it was early in the game. He had plenty of time to figure out how he was going to ask that question. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Players, you know what you're going to ask as a beat writer. You know what you're going to ask. You're watching the game live. You're like, oh, okay, cool. He dropped that pass, took his eyes off it. Boom. Like you're writing things down as the game goes on, like you're writing them down. Players, I'm not in my mind like, oh man, I know I cut that route a little short. I know they're gonna come in the locker room and say, why are you cutting your route short? Like that's not on my mind. What's on my route is the game. So you can't compare the two.
One of the parts about the Derek Jeter documentary is, he's talking about how he dealt with the media and he had some standard answers already planned. And if you ever asked about a teammate, it was, well, you're gonna have to go ask that, stuff like that. But one of the things is
breaking news.
Yeah, well, breaking news. Is,
I just heard that now, so I really don't know.
I'm hearing it for the first time, so I don't know. But one of the things was he said along the lines of the boos. Along the lines of the boos, he said, so what happened in the 5th when you struck out against Verlander?
I was trying to get a hit,
and he's thinking to himself, I swung and missed. He's thinking to himself, I swung and missed. I struck out. What do you want? What do you want from me? But he's like, I just tried to get a hit, and it didn't work out. I mean, that is a skill.
It is a skill, and it's also a skill to look. I'm not going to argue back and forth because, once again, it wasn't that big a deal. Like I've heard that before too. Trust me, they booed in Cleveland, so I've had that question before. But you just never know what people are going through.
Right.
Like, and when you want to ask a question, and if you have time, let me say it like that.
It's Philly, bro.
If you have, 100%. Then we didn't even get there to the fan bases because I'll just stop there.
Those are questions you ask in Philly and New York. Those are the questions you ask. And Chicago, and here in Detroit.
Agree, but you also be prepared for somebody that's going through marital issues at home, or going through other stuff at the crib, or they side chick, or they missed out on a bonus that they almost had by one swing. Like, it's a ton of things that go on in the mind. So when you ask that question, everything culminated in that moment. It's like everything blew up in that moment where it was like, you know what, man, I really want to tell this.
We all need these problems, don't we?
We do.
No, we don't.
I love it. I love it. Oh, my God.
You don't need side chick problems.
Oh, man. That is so great. Anywho, all right. Deshaun Watson, guys. I want to get to this real quick.
That's a hell of a pivot right there. From side chicks to Deshaun Watson.
This is part of my NFL roundtable.
I know. We've been done an hour of NFL roundtable.
All right.
Because do you want to do Watson, or do you want to do fan bases?
Keep going. No, we can save that.
Okay, we'll save that for Monday.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? How about we take a break, come back, and tell you what Deshaun Watson is willing to accept when it comes to a suspension? Because
what he's willing to accept. I love that.
When you left it open-ended like that, I was like, technically.
Deshaun, what can we do for you here?
How can we
make you happy?
You see your index finger?
Oh, my God.
Can we do something for you, Deshaun?
Oh, my God.
Hey, look, there are children listening.
Let us know what we can do for you,
Oh,
Deshaun.
my God.
But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles, but you gotta make a plan. Les Stanford has also 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on them, so they're like new. For more, visit LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, it's Friday. We're fired up. We got some Lions football tonight. We got some baseball here to pay attention to. But listen, before you guys get all excited, you got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates. It's the best place to check all the odds of the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But listen, we need some fun coupons. It's the weekend. Of course, that's what we do. So listen, tonight we're going to bet on the Orioles, the best team to bet on all season. Voth, but they only got 2 losses in his last 10 starts. Sounds good to me. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
At Alta. Uptime matters.
Look at that uptime.
Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
I can't believe we are where we are right now. I mean, this has flown by, guys. Unbelievable. Having a lot of fun on a Friday. My goodness.
The show of the year.
Is it 3 o'clock yet?
Almost. It's 3:30.
Okay, that's what I mean. It feels like we're just going to the second half of the show.
Flying by. Guys, the Lions game tonight on Fox 2. 6 o'clock. Pregame show starts at 5:30.
I'm rolling on it.
Yep.
And, of course, I'll be there.
Who's got the call? Do you know?
Devin Gardner.
Devin Gardner's
Devin Gardner. He's
who
the sideline guy.
Who did it last year?
I can't remember. Somebody didn't know.
It was a Fox guy, like a
Shepard used to do it before he got the Tigers.
Right. It's another Fox guy.
I don't remember.
Like from their stable of guys.
Is it a Bally's guy? Or
I'll find out.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think Devin's in the booth this year, man.
I thought he was a sideline reporter.
It's last year, not this year, though.
I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm saying I think he's in the booth this year. I think that's why he was. I think Devin's in the booth this year.
There you go. Deshaun Watson. This is his tweet. You ready for it?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Deshaun Watson is willing to accept an 8-game suspension. So, from Pro Football Talk, Deshaun Watson's 11th hour willingness to accept 8 games and pay $5 million is surely far too little and far too late from the NFL's perspective. Besides, the league needs to send a clear message to future players who may be inclined to deny and double down. So, basically, what the report is that Deshaun Watson is telling the NFL he's willing to accept an 8-game suspension and pay a $5 million fine.
2 questions. Question 1. Isn't it up to Roger Goodell to vote on this?
Yes.
So what the hell are we waiting for? Thing 2, if I was an innocent man and I felt I was truly innocent, you just keep etching out things that just keep making it look like, they keep making it look more and more and more like you're guilty. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about this, because you settle out of court, it doesn't make you a guilty man. It makes you want to get rid of things. But you keep that nugget in your mind, it's like, he did settle. Doesn't make you guilty, but he settled. Now here it is. Look, I'll pay $5 million. Just give me 8 and let's get the party rocking. If I'm truly innocent, okay, if I'm truly innocent, now I'll get to what I agree or not. If I'm truly innocent, I'm like, look, I'll take the whole year then, because I didn't do anything. I stick to my story. I'm only losing $1 million anyway. I'll take the whole year, whatever you want to do. Thing 2, or thing 3 now. As it relates to that, I mean, that's fair. Like, look, give me 8 games. That's more than half the season. I mean, that's a little under half the year. $5 million. Let's get the ball rolling. Because if they're going to keep taking their time, if they're going to keep wasting time, waiting for somebody to nudge them in the right direction, they clearly already have voted on it, but they won't say anything. I'm not necessarily mad at him for saying that. Look, do y'all need a nudge in the right direction? Give me 8 games. Here's $5 million. Let's get the party started.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, please.
I don't believe that Roger Goodell wants to suspend him for the whole year.
It's bad for the NFL.
I believe he's talking out of his ass. I believe that he's just saying this so the NFL looks like they give a damn. I believe that the 6-game suspension was something that Cleveland paid for and already knew about. When I mean paid for, that's what they knew about before bringing this guy and paying him all that money. That was what was promised to them. So by him saying what he's saying, he's trying to look good too, but he shouldn't even open his mouth anymore, like you were saying.
Exactly.
Just shut your mouth, take your punishment, and call it a day. He's going to keep that 6 games. There's no way they're suspending him for a whole year. That's just talk.
I believe what Roger Goodell is, when I talked about this, when the arbitrator said 6 games and then they appealed, I said what they're trying to do is, boom, we're going to wait to see the outcry. We're going to have an arbitrator do it first. You put the arbitrator in the place of us. Now we can see how they react to his or her, happen to be a her ruling, and now we can come in like the White Knights. Part of that also is this, man, you know what? Let's just act like we're really, really thinking on it. Let's act like we really, really think what he did was egregious, and we think he should be fined more games. Let's wait on it. Let's hash it out, and let's keep the conversation going to ultimately come back and do this. Listen, this is the first time that we've had an outside entity come in and arbitrate on the case. We don't want this to be a situation moving forward where we have an arbitrator come in and then we overrule them because nobody will want to weigh on the case.
Correct.
So what we're going to do is, based on what her name was, Sue Robinson, correct?
Yes.
Based on what Sue Robinson said, and she said that I ruled based on what the rules were already in place for the NFL. I ruled on that. Since we didn't do a good enough job at the NFL of changing those rules, and we want to respect what arbitrator Sue Robinson said, we'll keep the 6, but we're changing the rules moving forward. Don't you think for 1 second he's getting a full year? It's staying at 6.
Amen.
Because if it was going further, it would have already happened.
I am intrigued to see how this plays out because I do think, and I've said this before, but I just can't get past it, I think Roger Goodell's tone changed. Just like it changed after you saw the video in the Ray Rice situation. Yeah. I think Roger Goodell's tone changed after that HBO Real Sports aired with the 2 accusers.
You don't think he saw that video first?
No.
They did see it, though.
They did.
No.
I think he saw it, but I'm not saying he saw it first.
No, he saw it.
Or at least after it aired. How about that?
I'm talking about the Ray Rice video. They saw that first.
The Ray Rice video.
They had the video, and what happened was
it became public.
Yes.
New Jersey, they went back into the situation and they opened up the case. And when they opened up the case, they released the video. So then the NFL got caught with their pants down. It was like, oh shoot, because they didn't know it was going to come out. They said, you know what, we saw it. We'll give them 2. We'll get ahead of it. But New Jersey police, they decided to say, no, you know what?
Atlantic City.
There's more. Atlantic City says more to this. We're going to go back into it. They opened it up, and then they posted the video, and that's when Roger Goodell, the NFL,
they
got the scramble.
Right. What do I tell you? They're the mafia.
Yeah.
They know everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're full of crap, and I love them, but they're full of crap. They know everything.
If that's the case, do you think these games are fixed?
My dad's been telling me that since I was 8 years old.
I mean, if they're really,
I don't care though.
If they're really the mafia,
you know what my dad tells me? Hey, that was a great Broadway show we saw tonight.
Sammy Maz.
Sammy Maz.
I want to. God love Sammy Maz.
That's how I grew up.
I mean,
I grew up knowing everything was fake.
It's incredible.
That's why I'm so skeptical about everything.
Well,
I think Hard Knocks is fake.
Deshaun Watson is starting this weekend. I mean, does he just
tonight
friggin'
against the Jags?
Tonight. Does he just friggin' light it up and play the whole game?
I
3
doubt
quarters.
It. I doubt it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm definitely making them play half.
By the way, last night Giants -2.5.
Oh my God.
They win by 2.
It already begins.
Vegas
That's why I don't
knows.
play anymore.
Ravens
You can't
have
play.
won 21 straight
72.
preseason games.
You can't play.
Braylon, 21 straight preseason games. This was going to be in my little rundown.
What does that mean?
I got to ask, does it mean anything?
It does.
It
does
mean.
It means we care. When's the last time the Ravens had a losing season? Since you asked me, I'm
It
asking.
might have been last year. Was it last year?
No, they still were over.
They still over
they were still over 500 last year. They were 9-8.
Let me get you the answer to that question.
They were 9-8. They always have when they care.
Yeah.
But this is what they do better than anybody. Their backups are starters on over half the NFL teams. They keep backups that are starting players on other teams.
Last year they were 8-9.
So
I knew it was close.
All right.
But before that,
They had 73 guys injured.
Before that, they've had before last year, they've had 1 losing season since 2007.
I know. Yeah, it was 2007 they had a losing
Think
season.
about that. 2007 they had a losing season.
That was the first time we beat them twice.
2013 and 2021. So every 8 years they have a losing season.
Not bad.
Come on. And the only reason they had a losing season last year is because of the injuries.
They're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I think they might be onto something. Guys, we'll be back in just 1 second. But first I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. Register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Trader.com.
the number one site for all your game day bets. You know what? Play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price from multiple sports books. Doesn't matter what type of bet you want. Don't matter what sports you want to make that bet on. Go to oddstrader.com. They are simply put the best, whether it's player parlays, whether it's team parlays, whether it's the World Series, whether it's the Final Four. It does not matter. season's coming up. The season's coming up. I repeat, the season is coming up for the NFL. Get your best comparable bets at oddstrader.com.
Hey, before we get to Maz's videos of the day, did you see this? You want to talk about pompous? Jack Swarbrick from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The athletic director talking about the Big Ten and their deal with NBC will only make Notre Dame stronger and this and that. Because a lot of people believe, hey, you know, Big Ten's going to NBC. This is now a slam dunk for Notre Dame to join the Big Ten. But, you know.
Not so fast.
Not so fast. What he's saying is good. NBC has more college football to promote our product.
Unbelievable. Do you remember when he handed the note on the field to the Michigan athletic director?
Was it Tim Brandon at the time, or was it?
It was Dave Brandon.
Dave Brandon.
Dave Brandon.
Tim Brandon, Grosse Pointe South head coach.
There you go.
So Dave Brandon and Jack Swarbrick are, you know, saying hello to each other on the field before the Notre Dame-Michigan game. So Swarbrick hands him a letter, a note, an envelope. And in that envelope it said, we are ending our rivalry with you guys. Isn't that correct?
And it works out for Notre Dame. Yeah. Look, Notre Dame is playing Ohio State this year. Why? Because they have ended the relationship with Michigan. I mean, Notre, and I've always said this. I think if the Big Ten teams were smart, they would not schedule Notre Dame. Period. There's other teams for Ohio State to schedule, Michigan, Michigan State. I would not schedule Notre Dame. You're doing Notre Dame a favor. Yeah. They ain't doing you a favor.
Nope.
Make them join the conference.
Stick them.
After Paul Hornady made his remarks a long time ago, I was done with Notre Dame. So anything that comes out of anybody from Notre Dame's mouth, I tend to believe it's BS.
Even Rudy?
Is it worth repeating or not repeating?
Paul Hornady?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
It was along the lines of something we don't need to talk about.
Very good. Yeah. Very good.
He went down a dark hole.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
And we've had a great positive show. No reason
good.
to go
Then
there.
I apologize for that.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's what Maz's videos of the day is for.
Oh, good. Okay, here we go.
Perfect
Let's
segue.
go. It's time of the day we like to play
Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, I'm going to start you off with a little baseball game. This week it happened. It was in Arizona, this game. And the Arizona Diamondbacks security guys, they kind of lost this battle to these two idiots.
Oh, my God.
These two drunk idiots that ran on the field and ran these poor guys ragged. Oh, that poor guy. That poor police officer that laid out, and he got some field turf in his mouth.
I mean, come on,
and
guy.
these guys are going to jail.
It's all good.
Oh, man, I hope
Poor
they have to
guy.
pay a mega fine, and I hope they don't get to go to any more games. Bunch of asses.
Get him out of there.
You know
Get
what I
him
love-
out of there.
You know what I love about that is, remember what I told you guys about if you hit as a player, like if you hit one of these guys that streaks or runs on the field and you hit him and you get hurt, that person can sue you.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose. That happened to
Did you see these players?
James Harrison.
Did you see those players like this?
But that's where I was going. That's why I said that's why I love the video. The guys were like moving out the way because they understand. They teach that now. If there's ever a streaker or something like that, get the hell out the way. James Harrison leveled one of those individuals at, I want to say Heinz Field, which is now whoever cares about it, got sued for a hefty amount.
Really?
100%.
Probably had to settle.
Now, back in my day, in the 70s, Mike Curtis of the Baltimore Colts absolutely cold-cocked a fan running onto the stadium.
I remember.
It's one of the great things. If you guys ever want to look up Mike Curtis, Baltimore Colts, and that will pop up. And that guy was like KO'd in a minute. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's keep you smiling. How about this young lady shooting free throws better than Ben Simmons
free throws
ever could? Backwards.
Oh, solid.
That's not. You said young man. That's a girl.
I said young lady.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
They said Ben, on the topic. It said, "Hey Ben Simmons, you can learn a little something from this young lady."
Wow.
Here's one for you guys. This one is funny as hell, if you ask me.
Okay.
And it's for Ryan and me because it's a Malik Willis type thing. Now here it is. This is supposedly, well, it's fake Ryan Tannehill on the field watching Malik Willis perform. This is from the Twitter handle Black Adam Schefter, which is a phenomenal follow. Check it out.
Right there, that's a good pass. That's a good pass. Yes, sir. Oh, that's a great pass, man. Man, we should have been had this kind of quarterback, huh? Oh, I mean, yeah, he's doing good for a backup quarterback. Backup? Yeah. He 21, right? Yeah, he's 21. I'm 26, though. I'm only hurt for a few games, but that's a good pass for a backup quarterback, for sure. For sure.
That's definitely the future of this franchise.
The future backup. Yes, sir. Run that in! Run that in! Touchdown!
Yeah, man, this
yes,
quarterback
sir.
perfect,
Bro,
man.
you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
that nigga's old, bro.
Man, he
good.
He Michael Vick, right?
I swear to God, I was Hey, no. He don't mind y'all know Michael Vick, bro.
What you mean?
No, he don't. No, y'all doing that too much,
man,
bro.
he can do no wrong, bro.
No, he can do wrong. I seen him do wrong. I seen him do wrong in practice multiple times. Man, he can do wrong. You seen the first, man? Have you seen the first quarterback play?
I mean, yeah, but did you see what he did, though, man? Man, this quarterback perfect, man. I'm trying to tell you.
That's me, though. That's me.
Bro, this quarterback is perfect, man.
Shut up, man. Shut up. What, man? Damn, that nigga's not that good. Y'all doing too much hyping, bro. Get off of him. Damn. Y'all should check him out in practice sometimes. Sorry ass.
Sorry.
How good is that?
Nah, he's great. So who that guy is, I forget his name, but that's the guy that always imitates LeBron.
Like
he's
my
got, he's the guy that always imitates LeBron. Like when LeBron's trying to get rid of people and send people packing and kick them off the team. That's the guy. He does an amazing job. He's funny as hell. Man.
Oh my God!
But that's the truth, though.
Isn't that funny, Ryan?
It's funny.
It's Tannehill literally watching
He was like,
Malik
dude,
Willis.
man. He's like, yeah, that's a good throw for a backup quarterback.
He's good. I guess he's good.
He's the future. He's a future backup.
You should see him in practice, though. You don't see his practice. All right, I got
practice.
one more for you.
That was funny as hell.
This is the difference when you get your season tickets in the mail, and you always look forward to them because it's going to be some type of maybe a gift that they send you for season tickets. Here's the first guy getting his season tickets from the Raiders. The second poor bastard gets his season tickets from the Cleveland Browns. Look at the difference.
It's got music here, so it's not playing it.
What is this now, Mass?
These are people getting their season tickets.
Oh, I saw
This
it.
is the Raiders.
Okay.
Now, you can't put it up now to hear
Roquan.
them? And here's the Browns guy. He's like, what the hell is this?
What is that hat?
It's a painter's cap.
It's a painter's cap.
Look at this.
This might be the worst hat I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
The Raiders, when the fan opened up the Raiders box, it's like, it's got like it has music, and it's got the Hall of Fame, all the Hall of Fame players. It's got the flame, the Al Davis flame,
Yeah.
and look how beautiful those tickets were, and look at the Cleveland Brown package.
That's what happens when you have 4 Super Bowl wins.
There you go.
Brown box.
Or they have 3 or 4.
The Raiders?
They have 4 or
Yeah.
3. 1, 2. I know they all were in the 70s.
Beat the Eagles, beat the Redskins, beat the Vikings. 3.
That was just 3. So, that's what
Guys,
happens.
hell of a week out of all of you, including you, the viewers, listeners, however you consume Woodward Sports Network. We certainly appreciate that. If you could hit that like button for us, we'll try to get to 150 likes in the next 2 minutes. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Braylon, get us out of here.
Look, man, I've had a great weekend with you guys in studio, my team, my squad, but I also had a great weekend with you. The fans out there commenting, you're talking about the disagreements, the agreements. It doesn't matter. We just want you to listen because we're building something here. And we're on the way, man. Like they say, Tuck coming? Nah. Woodward Sports, we're coming. We're celebrating 1 year And we wouldn't be able to celebrate 1 year without you guys at home listening to us and viewing us and liking us and subscribing to us and also suggesting that other people follow. So we do appreciate you. As much of it is that it's ours, it is yours as well. So we appreciate you. From my man Flannel Sam on a Friday, Fletch on a Friday, Maz in the chair. Good luck tonight at the game, my friend.
Thank you.
And my brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni, to the left. We are and always will be the bottom line.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate you.
Happy anniversary.